What's up, y'all? I know y'all seeing videos pop out like teeth. I had a phone conversation that I wanted to share with y'all um, because there's so many signs that, you know, when people are going through things, you kind of want them to figure it out on their own. Plus, it's their business. So you don't want to be involved in their business. But mainly, and what's more important is the fact that you understand that, in going through this process, you know, they're the ones that have to make this change. It's not on you, it's on them to be able to say, hey, you know, um, I'm done. I can't do no more here. Right? It's up to you to say all these wonderful things. What's up, dog? Um, Abusive relationships go both ways. I know a lot of people just think it's men and women, but it's both ways. And there's signs on both sides. Most people who are in abusive relationships are in them because they allow this process to continuously go on because for some reason they feel guilty. They blame themselves. So they allow it to continuously go on and just say, my poor person I'm with is going through something. And some people, they grew up in an environment that was like that. So they think this goes along with it. No, it's not okay. You're not supposed to be in that. No, neither side should be putting their hands on each other to justify their point. Because whatever point you thought you had, you lost it when you put your hands on somebody. That's it. You've automatically lost the argument. And then I just had to hear what I had to hear over the phone. And that is heartbreaking to find out that way. And it's not really my business, but I know them. So that is my business. I know the kids, I know everything. So it affects me because I'm thinking about how the kids are going to react to that. So I'm on the phone, basically saying, I'm not trying to shame people or anything like that. I'm trying to help because there's some people that's listening right now that might be female, that might be male, and they've had a guy go upside their head before. They're not gonna brag about it or tell nobody because they're embarrassed. Most of them are embarrassed that they allowed this to go on before and let it probably go on numerous of times. They're embarrassed by the situation, so they don't want to mention it. Now, for us, we've seen this materialize quite a few times. I've seen abuse before I was even old enough to understand it. Um, I've seen a lot of different things, but me being of age and even when younger, I didn't like it at all. A man putting his hands on a woman or woman putting her hand on a man, I just didn't think that's not suffice. Now, somebody can do something to really ask for it, but still you shouldn't do it. Like I saw a woman just literally bust a glass up on side of her man's head. He had like a snowball of ice, of which was like glass, all in his ear. He had to get all of it out, and it cut up his ear. She broke a glass on his ear because she thought he was cheating. He was, but still, there was no need to do that. And I told about that story in the hood stories. And she was white, he's black, and it was late at night, like midnight around that time. And she's hysterical and going through a whole argument. And she storms out of the house and she's yelling, going up and down. And it's midnight in this neighborhood, and you going after her. You're bleeding from the ear. She's got your blood on her hands, everything. She's going up and down the street screaming. I had to get involved right then and there because he's losing identity. He's mad. He's yelling at her. He hadn't hit her. He's yelling at her. He's bleeding. His blood is on her hands. Police pull up. You're going to die tonight. Not on my watch. So I got to save your life. So I had to go and take her home immediately. She's calling her dad, and the dad is, she's making up a whole lie. Didn't say anything of what she did. And dad's like, I'm going to call him and I'm going to come over there. This is my daughter. Nobody hurts my daughter. I'm like, whatever. I'm bringing her home so she could be safe. Nobody put a hand on her. I wouldn't have allowed that to happen. I told him, nobody hurt her. She hurt him, though. She broke a glass over his head, and I'm going to have to take him to the hospital when I get back. But she's upset because she assumes he's cheating. So she broke a glass over his head. So I had to explain to her father as I'm driving her home because she's getting ready to do the white girl paint the story. Now, yeah, the scenario's changed. The scenario's always going to change when you're doing something right. You always notice that when you're doing something right, the scenarios change. So I protected him. And just like in this situation here on the phone, let me see what this message is right now. No, it's my other friend. I think he's out of town right now. But like I was saying, everything was pretty foul, and what just happened here was pretty foul. Now, how to recognize signs of an abusive person? They have problems with their emotions. They're very emotional. They go from like 0 to 100 over nothing out of the blue. And it takes a lot to bring them down. They're super sensitive to things and they jump out into a rage. They feel like they got to hit something all the time, like the wall or anything. These people kind of need therapy and they have unresolved anger issues, whether it's with mom, whether it's with dad, and they never got that closure or resolve, and they keep that bottled up of anger and hate, or somebody picked on them as a child, or whatever it was that got them just like they can't go back in time to fix that or get that correction. So they carry it on almost without like releasing it. And they live with that and it chews at them. Yeah. And it continuously chews at them until it consumes you because you're not thinking right. You're thinking this is the best way to deal with my problems when you're not even realizing this is a problem that's bigger than you. You can't even see that it's a problem. That's a problem. You can't even recognize what it really truly is. Can you imagine going through life like that? What it would be like to go through life, can't recognize what the hell is going on in life. I was gonna take a break. I was gonna take a break. I just uploaded the Patreon. I did that, and I had to hear all the bad stuff that just went down. So I wasn't happy about that. That did piss me off. And when you care or got family members you care about, the last thing you want to do is hear about friends that that are putting hands on each other, and you don't want that. Nobody wants it. So it's very disturbing to even hear about something like that. So it's like, okay, that's what we on. That's what we're doing now. Now I talked to the other person who did this, who now feels ridiculous about what happened. Of course, that's what they're gonna say. But I'm like, congratulations, you just scarred your kids. That what you want? You just did it. No matter how much ice cream and gym shoes and video games you buy them, they never gonna forget this. They never gonna forget this. You just scarred them. Congratulations. And I know this person. I know both of them before they were even together. Knew both of them. So when they ended up getting together and becoming a couple and going through these traits, I knew he had like anger issues, mostly from being spoiled most of his life. Um, he was angry, couldn't spend time with his father. His father would come and go. His father was a carpet salesman, a door-to-door carpet salesman. So he was like never home. Then he became traveling like for the company he worked for. They put him in other towns, so he wouldn't see his dad a lot. And that probably played a large part of it because after that he was spoiled with gifts because dad wasn't there. Dad always bought gifts, and mom would go buy him a gift. It's his birthday, dad ain't there. Here comes a gift. So he's used to dad not being there, but he kind of wants dad there for certain things, and he never had those moments. Um, People, they run into obstacles all the time. They do. They run into a lot of obstacles. And when they run into these obstacles, they don't know what to do. Like black people don't go get therapy. They don't go get help. They don't say, hey, this is bad, or anything of that nature. They just go with the motions. They go with the flow. So I feel bad. I truly did. I truly felt bad. But I understand what's going on. When I look at the total picture of what everybody's doing, I start to see what they're doing and what they really doing. And I say, okay, I get it. I see the play. So we'll see how everything plays out. But I kind of get it. I know what they're doing. Now, it takes two to tango, you know, but she didn't touch him. He didn't like what she said. And it went there, and if anything teachable I could tell you of how to recognize signs is when you're dating, you start to see these traits. Stop looking at what you want out of it and start looking at what the other person wants too in the relationship. Start thinking about their benefits or what they really want from you. What is required of you, not what they can do for you. What could you offer them in this relationship? What are you bringing in? Are you antagonizing his pain? Are you stressing this person out? Are you really good for this person? You might not be good for them. They might be good for you, but you might not be good for them. I know her and I know how she is. She's a nagger. You know, somebody will say something, say one thing, then they turn around and they start saying something and nagging you. And I told you, yeah, because if you'd have listened to me and remember that time I told you to make that right turn and you didn't listen to me and you went left. And I told you, I don't think this is the way. She's one of those. She nags, nags, and nags. So I don't know what the nagging was about or whatever this time around, but from what I'm hearing or what I'm taking from this isn't the first time. This is just the first time I'm hearing about what happened today. I'm not going to go into what happened, but he put his hands on her. That's about all I can tell you. And that wasn't right. Whether she put her hands on him and he put his hands on her. But the way this went down should never happen. And I spoke to him after it, and he's lucky tonight she's not sending him to jail. Because she could easily do that. He's embarrassed. After he did it, he knew he messed up. So, of course, he starts crying. But is he crying because he's sorry, or is he crying because he thinks he's going to jail? And that's why I have to be brutally honest with people like that. I can't pacify it and go, man, I know you a good dude, man. And I can't do that. When you put your hands on somebody, I got to let you know you scarred your kids, man. You just messed up. You did this in front of your kids. That's what you want to show them? That's what you want to do? That's what time it is? That's what we doing now. Okay, I'm just saying. That's what you just did. Those kids are going to be scarred for life now because of what you just did. So the narratives have always changed, but they have not always changed for the better. Sometimes they change for the worse. No, because like I said, what was your end game? What was you going to do? Huh? How many times you going to put your hands on her today? You going to hit her once, twice, 3, 4 times, 5 times? Then what you going to do? Choke her? Well, I mean, like, what do you want? What's the end game? Huh? What's the end game? You going to kill her? Now what you going to do? You a killer? Then what you gonna do? Think about your kids. So what you gonna do? Hurt them too? See, you gotta bring that reality and rawness to somebody and have those tough conversations with them. If you know, you gotta do that because you have to bring that reality and thought into their brains because sometimes they're not thinking about that. They're not thinking, am I gonna go that far? What would happen if I go that far? Then they have an act of rage and then they do something stupid that they regret 10 minutes later when it's all done and they can't take it back. It's already done. They've already messed up. Now, this is the first time I think the outside people are getting in because when I heard about it, and I think she's tired of it or it's been going on for a while, and she's letting everybody know, like in case something happened to her. I have to like look. So I take it as if this has been going on because that's how I see it. Like this is something that's been going on for a while, and y'all have took it and made it a normalcy, and this is not normal because you're damaging your kids. Now, how's your daughter gonna look up to her mom, and she's seeing her mom getting manhandled by you? You know, it's awful. So now your daughter's going to grow up and is going to allow a man to do that to her, and you're not going to want that for her. So that's how you look for those signs, women and men both. Women who are abusive, they show it pretty early. They always like to hit you, hit something, hit somebody, talking about whooping somebody all the time. Anger, go off, road rage, all these got real short tempers, snap real quick. Those are the type that end up hitting you, putting you in a position where you got to defend yourself because they hitting you with something, trying to knock you out and try to belittle you in front of people. You don't want that kind of toxic energy around you because that would lead to something like that. You got to recognize this negative vibes, negative low vibrational energy, and get that out your life. And then you'll start feeling better. You start thinking better. So once you start thinking better, you'll start feeling better. And you can. Men try different psychological ways to break women down. Like I never had to hit a woman. My words hit like fists. I don't even have to be cursing them out. I don't never have to curse a woman out. I say little short things that just irritate them. I mean, okay, there's that college try. You went to college, right? Right. I say little things that I know that bothers them and get on their nerves. I'll be like, so are you telling me that's the best that you could do? I didn't say that was the best I could do. I don't know. Why are you yelling? Cause you stupid. And I feel like I gotta explain everything to you. I'll be like, I'm not yelling. I say things calmly. I've had women throw things at me, swing at me. I'm the master of the wrist control. You'd be like, ah, stop, stop. I'm not your kid. Don't hit me. said to avoid abusive relationships, invest in the stock market, invest in the stock market. Look at the phone and laugh and invest back into the stock market. Oh man. On that note, that's a good one, man. On that note, I'm out, y'all. Be safe. Oh man.